Hello, welcome everybody. In this video, we are going to continue building our e-commerce website. Here in this video, in product page, we want to add product attributes and product values field, because for each product we might need some kind of attributes like color, depending on products, color, brand, and height, weight, whatever attributes you want to add to your product. So currently, if we add new product, we have simple form with name, description. So right now for workaround, you can put about color, size, and any other attributes in description while describing our products. That is one way. Another way is to give a drop down where admin or seller can add the attributes of the products depending on product type. Suppose you are selling computer, then there will be processors, there will be RAM, and if you are selling shirt, there will be like brand, color, sizes similarly. So to do that, we first need two tables. One is attributes table and another is attribute value table. So attribute table will contain all the attribute like color, size, RAM, processor, and similarly. And attribute values contains corresponding values like for color there will be red, blue, green, whatever color you can put there. And similarly for other things, size, XL, double XL, medium, small. So first off, let's create these two tables. Oops, I closed VS Code. So this project is available on GitHub. You can just download and run composer install. I've also put in the install instruction there. You can follow that as well. Alright, so let's open up terminal. PHP artisan. By the way, this PA is the shortcut I have created. You can do PHP artisan. PHP artisan make model attribute. Let's create everything. Model factory migrations. I think it will also create controller, but I don't think we'll need controller. Yeah, it's okay. Similarly, let's create attribute value. I think we can do like this thing for migration, controller, migration, and factory. Yeah, these two things should be fine. So we created model, factory, and migration. Let me make it a bit bigger. If you are watching on mobile, you might not see clearly. Alright, so model, factory, and migrations created. Alright, so let's go to attribute factory. Attribute table migration. Let's define schema. So in attribute, we'll store a name string, name of attribute. Right now that should be okay, name of attribute. And yeah, that should be okay. Later on we might need other fields according to your application, and that's fine for me. Let's go to attribute value. Attribute value table values table. So here first thing we'll need we need ID field. ID field which will contain the ID of attribute ID, because we need to link this attribute values to attributes. Yeah, so this ID is new in this will create a new auto incremental big integer column on the table. And looks like it will create auto incremental big integer. So let's use unsigned big integer attribute value, and another thing we'll need is value. For now this will be the string and then value. Yeah, so these two are bare minimal required fields. Okay, so let's go ahead and migrate these two. PHP Artisan migrate. Okay, once again, this PA means PHP Artisan. I've just created alias. Those who are watching for first time might not understand why this PA. So I've got a lot of replies regarding this. Okay, so our table structure is all good. Next step is to populate some value there. We can use factory, or yeah, let's do it our way. Let's manually seed some data here. So attributes table. For now I'll just quickly put size. Okay, size and color looks fine for now. Alright, so to save some time I've just input these attributes values manually. For attribute ID 1 there is small, medium, large, and attribute value 2 red and green. Okay, so our data is also ready. Let's go and what's next? Let's create that field on products table, because in product form we need one input fields which will be the dependable drop down. Like we'll select the attribute from here, and according to attribute we select, we'll get corresponding values. Alright, so to do that, first we'll need one column in products table to store that new field, new values like new attributes. Currently we don't have that column in products table. So let's jump to code and let's first see product table, and here we have these fields. We'll need one more field for attributes, so I'm thinking of storing that as a JSON. So let's add a JSON column in products table. Go to terminal, PHP Artisan, make migration, add attribute column to products table, because we have to create new migration, because we cannot delete all data and then rerun migration. So if you are already building product, if you are already building some application and later on you realize that you need to add one more column to your previous table, so the good way is to just create another migration and add that column there. Yeah, so this is the way. Table flags equals to products. Alright, so migration created. Let's go to the add attribute. There we go. So since we do products flag, it created some boilerplate for us. Table JSON and that will be attributes. Let's make it nullable. And when we roll back, we need to delete this drop column. That's it. So we can create many-to-many relationship and then do separate table for both, and it will get quite complex. So this is the simple way. Just store them as JSON, and MySQL 5.7 and higher supports the JSON column. You can directly access JSON column, and you can do search and all sort of things like it is a new column, so which is really cool. So we'll see this later on the video. If you don't understand, it's okay. Alright, so our new column is also ready. Let's migrate to create it on products table. So we just created that. Refresh, go to products table. Where is that? Here. And if we see, we have this attributes JSON column added, and we have whole lot of table, and there we go, attributes null by default. Okay, so now we need to fill this attributes column with some data. Looks like this is a bit smaller to see. Okay, so to allow user to add that, we have to allow that functionality on admin panel. Here user can add. So let's go to our VS Code and let's see. So that form is inside resources, views, and vendor. And inside vendor there is products, and this is the edit and add. So since we are using Voyager, we have to override their form, and this is the submit button that we are seeing here, save button. So just above this we need to add that. So this is whole form. So here we can add whatever we like. Suppose let's say we want to add input, and let's say attribute, refresh. Yeah, we can see attribute. Alright, so now that we know where we need to put input field, okay, so here we'll put our fields. So we'll have these kind of attribute select boxes. So these attribute options will be like, we'll define here PHP tag, PHP and PHP, and we'll pull in attribute options from database. So we'll pull all attribute. This attribute is defined inside. So here we'll also need to define a relationship between attribute and values, value class, and we'll either load that with values. Okay, so attribute, so this contains attribute object, and then we can do attribute name. This will display attribute name, and here we can give attribute to form name. So yeah, this will be the array, and here we have to loop through attribute values as val, and then we'll display val. Okay, hopefully everything is fine. Let's go to form and see. Okay, here we have to change it from all to get, and here attribute values instead of attribute value. So we just misspelled this thing. Yeah, so we got values. Hopefully everything fine. Let's go to browser and let's reload. Yeah, it's loading, and let's see. Yeah, so we got size, color, but these values are just object. We just need to plug these values. Alright, so to do that, it's quite easy. So this contains object and this value. Okay, value, we just need value, right? So value, because that is object, and we just need this value options. Yeah, so now we have just options, red, green, perfect. So if you need just one empty field, you can add here like this, just leave it null, and you'll have one null field so that it is unselected, and you can select like this. Yeah, so this shouldn't be inside for each, because we don't want to repeat that, right? Okay, perfect. So now our form is in place. Now whenever we select this and try to submit, we need to save this on database. So how to do that? We just, whenever we submit, so we don't need to go to controller and do that, because this controller is quite complex. If you go to product controller, we need to override Voyager class and do all the stuff, which is very complex. So I will show you easier way. So how do we cache this and save it is inside product model. Just go to product model, and here we need to listen for our creating event. So we can do that on couple of ways. Okay, so we have this closure based event that we can use into our product class. So inside booted, whenever instead of creating, so while creating, we have access to the product model, product, and hopefully what we can do is product equals to JSON encode, and then get request attribute. So this contains array, and then we will JSON encode it and then initialize it to attribute. So hopefully this will save it when we save this thing. Yeah, we can check this thing from dumping it. Let's see. Okay, let's try to add some product. Let's populate form field, save it. Yeah, so we are getting attribute. So instead of that, what we need to do is, because we are just getting value small and red, so what we can do here is, so here just pass the attribute name, attr name. We need name as well, because that's why instead of this 01 we should get the attribute name. Save it. There we go. Now we get size, color, and whenever we JSON encode it, we'll get the right value. Okay, so now let's see this in action. Okay, so unknown column attribute. Let's see. Look like we have created, yeah, attributes. Sorry about that. It's attributes, not attribute. So invalid arguments applied for each. Okay, so we cannot have this field name attributes inside products table. We have this field attributes. We cannot have attributes. It is reserved word. So to alter that, we need to roll back this migration. So to do that, PHP artisan migrate rollback. Okay, and then we need to alter something there. So product table. So instead of attributes, we can say product attributes. Yeah, product attributes. Okay, now migrate again. PHP artisan migrate. New table created. And now in attribute table, we need to define the table field. Protected table equals to product attributes. That's it. And what else? Yeah, all look fine. Now let's go to, so after created, we'll just grab this attribute. So first let's try without doing anything if we can change anything there. Let's try that out. So now we need to change this product. So we need to match this thing to match this table name. Now let's column name. We need to refresh this and then go to attributes. Sorry, we need to go to products table. Okay, so now new table name, new column name is product attributes. So we need to match this column name, should be match the database column name. Okay, so after doing that, let's go back to create form. Oops, view not found, product attributes. Oops, sorry, we don't need to change it here. Why did I do that? Sorry about that. I've just mistakenly put here to define table. So it is just a column name, not a table name we altered. So this should still work. Now let's refresh. Okay, so now let's create our dummy product with medium size and color green. Alright, so product looks like product is created. Let's try to edit this. Okay, let's see on database, refresh it. Okay, so product attributes is not getting saved. Let's go to products table and here Let's get it back to normal. And now instead of attributes, so previously we are doing just attributes, but whenever you do this, it will just list all the attributes. So now everything looks cool. Now let's see if this works. Let's go back and create new product. Add new. Keep some price. Let's create medium size with red color. Yeah, looks good. Let's go and let's see this on database. Yeah, so it is saving correctly. Okay, cool. So even shorter option is what we can do here, is like so. Instead of this, we can do protected casts, and then we can do like this, product attributes. So whenever you see this, just cast it to array. So whenever we access this, it will give us array, and whenever we try to save, it will just encode it for us. We don't need to do like this. So you want to try this again, just go and try to add another product. Add new product, taste 33, medium red. So product created. Let's go to database, refresh it. Yeah, it still works. Okay, so what another thing what I can do here is, so I need to make it work for editing as well. So first of all, whenever we try to edit, here we should populate old values. To do that, let's go to edit add form, and here in value section, what we can do here is, so here we have to put some condition, like to make it selected. So how do we do that is a question. So let's see, we need to check this value name if it matches with equals to we need to grab the product. Where is the product? Yeah, it looks like this data type content. So data type content looks like our candidate. It should be the product. Let's tie and dump. Oops. Yeah. So here we need to check product attributes. We should get array. There we go. So here we need to check like so. So val value. I know it's a bit hard to understand if it is selected, otherwise null or empty string. Okay, let's see. So we are just checking if attribute name exists, and this will only exist for edit form. If it exists, it should match to value. Then we'll show selected, otherwise null. Okay, so here we need to remove time dump part and reload the form to see our changes. There we go. Yeah, it works. You can just study this piece of code, and let's change it to medium to small and save it. So right now this saving parts shouldn't work because we haven't put code there. It should still show medium. So to handle this saving part, instead of created, we can do like saved, or we can do like saving. So whenever we are saving, just do like this. It should work as well. Let's see this in action as well. Let's make it small, save it. No error. Edit it. Yeah, it works. Make it large. There we go. Okay, so our attribute is getting saved. And now since data is getting saved, you can display it here. Very easy. Just go to settings, tools, and then bread. And inside bread we have bread for products table. Just edit this bread and include that newly created attributes field. Where is that product attributes? Yeah, product attributes should be text. Is there something to display for JSON? I think text will be fine. Let's submit it and see it on. There we go. Okay, array given, this should be string. So looks like they have nothing for displaying. Yeah, we have to override that. So what we can do is we can just disable this cast for now and just simply do JSON encode, same thing. So we have to do manual because we are using this voyager, because it is just getting array and having hard time to display that. Now it will display as a string. That will work. So previously what it is trying to do is just converting this to array whenever we are just enabling this, and then it is not displaying this array as a string. So that's why it is giving error. Now it's all good. Now edit part, everything should work as expected. Yeah, so we need to change small bit of code in our edit add part, because that now it is no longer, so whenever we access this, so it doesn't work because now we need to manually JSON decode this thing. Yeah, let's do that. Don't be lazy. JSON decode. Just put that thing and decode it true so that we get associative array. Now everything should work as before. There we go. Now we can do small to medium, and that medium should be saved first of all. There we go. And in edit form it should again show that. There we go. So now we don't need this thing because it is just showing, because in bread product, edit this, and here we only need on browse, we don't need on edit, add, delete part. Okay, everything is good. Now we shouldn't see this. Okay, so now we just added our attributes and ability to add attributes to the table, to the products. So yeah, so now it's easy to display it wherever you want. You can next step is you can do it on orders. Just display the attributes there, just pull in using product attribute. Now you have relation, or you have this column. You can pull wherever you want, and you have to save that on orders as well. Yeah, so I'll see you on next video. Bye.